All right, Steve. What is it? Season one, episode three? Oh, there's a three on ours.
There you go. It finally matches.
All right. What's happening, Steve? How are you?
I'm great, Alan. How are you doing today?
It's a great day to be recording our third podcast, and some of you have listened into the first two. First was an intro last week. My good buddy Steve got to interview me and got to know me a little bit and what progress over perfection meant in my life in a nutshell. There's going to be much more that we're going to share over the next few podcasts that if you continue watching. But I think today, Steve, we'll turn the tables around from number two. What do you
Okay,
think?
looking forward to it. Yeah,
Are
it
you
was fun.
ready? Are you
I'm
ready?
I'm I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. All right. Like maybe just high level, Steve. When when we thought of naming our podcast Progress Over Perfection, and even with a lot of pushback from me, like, what the heck are you thinking, Alan? Like, what is this? Why do you keep asking me about this? This is the fourth time in 3 months, like, and then I just kept asking. But what came through your head when we said we're going to record a podcast called Progress Over Perfection?
Well, I think thinking about in my own life and in my relationship, getting to know you is that over the last, I'd say 12, 13 years, I've seen a lot of personal growth in myself and in you as well. And I thought that it'd be great just to share some of those stories and share what that looks like. You know, I have lived a little longer than you. I'm several years older than you, but I look back at my life and I know I've made a lot of mistakes, but I've learned a lot of lessons too. So I think the idea of sharing some of those lessons, sharing some of those the wisdom gained from the School of Hard Knocks and making mistakes would be fun and could be valuable for some other people just to hopefully help them on their journey along the way.
Steve, I remember just when I watched our first episode with a couple of people I know and stuff. I love the vulnerability that you showed on that first episode when you said that when you came into Leader Impact Group in around 2014, that did you say you were at a low, or what did you describe like in terms of your faith journey?
In my faith journey in 2014, that would be the beginning of the renewal of my faith journey. So I had spent 30 years, I'd say, I like to say in the wilderness, I drifted away from the faith that I had uh, come to in my late teens and
Hmm.
early 20s. And so it was actually it was more like the starting line in a marathon, and I'm probably at about the 42 kilometers in a marathon. I might be at the 10K mark, so I got a long ways to go still.
You're saying you're at the 10K mark now, or you in
I'm at the
2004?
tank. At 2014, I was at the starting line. I was
Oh,
probably in fact, I was probably in some ways behind the starting line because I'd kind of come back from the wilderness and I was kind of standing kind of where is the starting line? So I think I found the starting line. I was probably still putting my shoes on and just trying to figure out where to go next. So I know there's lots of messages there, but yeah, just kind of getting ready for the start of what was going to be the race for the rest of my life. And now here we are 12 years later and feel like I'm in a really good spot.
oh. So what are some examples of progress over perfection in your faith journey now that you're at the 10-kilometer mark, Steve?
I think the biggest thing I would think of would be in my marriage. I think I'm blessed with gonna coming up on my 35th anniversary to my best friend and my beautiful wife Tanya. And we went through some difficulties early on and through the middle parts of our marriage, mostly my fault. Some would say all my fault. But I'd say that at just the lessons we've learned together. It's been really fun because we've been on this spiritual journey together over the last 12 years. And uh, faith was kind of new to her back then, and it was renewed to me. So we were kind of been climbing that mountain and running those first 10 kilometers together. And sometimes I feel like she's probably at the 20-kilometer mark when I'm still kind of trying to catch up. But I think that we're doing it together. So I think that would be the big thing. And then I think On a personal level, it really showed up in my physical health, where back in 2014, I was probably 45 or 50 pounds heavier than I am now. So I kind of went on a bit of through a physical transformation. And certainly spiritually, there's been a massive transformation. I still have a long way to go, but I feel like today my relationship with God is better than it's ever been, and still have a lot to learn and a long way to go. But so I'd say there's Leader Impact talks about your personal, professional, and spiritual life, and I think um, certainly in my spiritual and my personal life, I think there's been kind of massive transformation over the last 12 years and lots of changes.
So I know in our group, and just full disclosure, Steve and I were in the same group because our goal in Leader Impact Group is to introduce more men to this forum and this way of helping each other grow. We're now in different groups because the goal is to invite and to grow and to have more groups and to help more men. And we've walked with different people because of this group. Stephen, you mentioned something with you and Tanya being at different parts of your faith journey, like maybe she is at the 20-kilometer mark or 10-kilometer mark or wherever it may be. But we've walked with people and we're at different parts in our faith. What tools, tips, and tricks do you have for people out there? Knowing that maybe you're not in this exact same point, but you can still help each other. What did you and Tanya do to be stronger together in faith, even though you're in different stages?
We've done a lot of things. We actually were in a coaching program together for 5 years. That was we were blessed to be brought into that. So we did that together, where we had kind of retreats and seminars like 6 times a year, and it was pretty intensive. We did that. We have a practice that we started many years ago, that we pray together every morning and every night every morning before we leave the house, and every evening before we go to sleep.
Mm.
For many years early on, we don't do it right now, but we've done it over the years, where we did read through a devotional book together. There's one called Love Dare that
Mm.
I've shared with many people, and it's Love Dare for couples, and it's we would read that together and
Does
kind
that
of,
have to do with some firemen or something? I think I've heard of that one.
it was part of the um, that whole group of movies,
Nice.
Courageous, and there's a bunch of other ones, but the Love Dare. But there's a book called The Love Dare for Couples that surprised I never gave you a copy, but I guess I didn't. But anyway, so that was something. So I think the praying together and going to church together, um, we kind of synced our schedules too. So we were blessed, even when I was still working full time in the corporate world, and she was building her home staging and home styling business. We've done our best is to sync our schedule, so that we go to bed at the same time and get up at the same time. I know not everybody can do that, but that's been foundational for us as well. For about 6, 7 years, we went to the gym together every morning as well. So we just tried to do as many things as we could together. And I think the key for us is that we're best friends, not just husband and wife. And that's if you can be best friends with your spouse, that's a big, big step.
A little bit of a deeper dive on this working out together with Steve and Tanya, guys. I just want to, what time did you guys go to the gym? 5:30, 5:45?
5:30, Orange Theory Fitness for a number of years. For many years, we went to 5:30. Now I go at 6:45, and Tanya does Pilates at 6 a.m. So yeah, we're still up early, and not quite as early as before. I had to go before work before, so I had to get up at go to the 5:30 class so I could be to work by 8. So we sleep until like 5:30 or 6 now. So 5:30
So
sometimes.
So basically, everybody out there, Steven's relationship tip is go to the gym with your spouse at 5:30 in the morning, and that's
That's it.
that
If you
that
do that'll take care of everything for
that'll
sure.
take. If you can go with your spouse, that's all I can hear. If you can go with your spouse to something at 5:30 in the morning every day, this is every day, everybody out there.
Monday to Friday we
Oh
did. We
yeah,
didn't do
sorry,
it on the
Monday to
weekend.
Friday,
We didn't do it on the weekend. So
but okay, but doing it for 6 years, like that's amazing. And
yeah.
obviously, we're joking around a little bit, but what resonated when Steve was talking is that everybody, a real relationship, if you want it to work, you've got to put that elbow grease and work yourself into it. And I think that's a great message that if we're going to take something big for me, just listening to my buddy Steve here is A lot of people complain, oh, why is this not working? How come they're not doing? But Steve had to get up at 5:30 in the morning and he had to, clear his schedule and make a commitment that he was going to do this all the time, among other things that they do on a regular basis. So Steve, does that make any sense at all? Or
Yeah, I mean, we just love spending time together. So I think that's we've developed that after becoming empty nesters, after raising two boys, and then having the empty. Sometimes it's difficult, but we're blessed that right now we love going to the Blue Jay games together. I was always a Blue Jay fan, but now Tanya's as bigger Blue Jay fan than me. So we are blessed to be able to go to a number of games. We're going to go. Yeah, and went to all the games in the World Series last year together. So we do lots of fun stuff together, and we like to travel together. So for me, that's I look at it that I know we're probably running out of time here. We want to keep this going, but I think for me, it's putting God first in my life individually. So my relationship with God comes first, and then my relationship with my spouse and my kids come next, and then everything else really comes in after that. So I kind of look at it as God, family, business in that order. And if I can have my relationships aligned that way, then if I can continue to do that, then I think it helps me to become the man, start to becoming the man that God has created me to be.
all right, and as we wrap this up, like you said, we're going to keep it between 10 and 12 minutes. What do you want to do as closing remarks, or is there a call to action, or how are we going to wrap a bow around this little bit of information that I think was powerful for you to share today?
Yeah, well, I think I kind of mentioned it last in the first episode too, but it's just really been on my heart lately. Is well, I'll say it this way. I went on a sometimes what I like to go on a I'm challenging for me to learn how to pray, so I do that by going on a long walk. And the other day I went on I think a 6 or 7 kilometer walk and just in silence and just trying to pray and talk to God doing that. And one of the things that I heard was to stop overthinking it and do the next right thing. So I often get in my head a lot and start to think about, I try to have everything planned out, to what it's going to look like in 2 years or 5 years. And where the challenge was for me just to do it. So I've taken some steps recently to step into some things that are a little bit, I don't want to say stepping into fear, but stepping into faith and just saying, hey, I'm going to do this, even though I don't know where it's going to lead. So it's kind of like just take action. Um, don't wait for all the facts. Don't wait for till you know everything. And if it's something that's not going to be harmful, something that's going to help other people, something that's going to help you live your purpose, and and it's back to one of my favorite sayings, which is you'll probably hear me say quite often is the best time to plant a tree or start a habit was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So the fact that, we've had this habit of going to the gym for the last 8 years now. I was in my late 50s when I started that. So it's never too late. It's never too late. So start today. Do something. Just do something. Like start something new today. Try. I like to listen to Bob Goff. He says, I don't want you to agree with me. I want you to do something. So just do
Mm,
something. Like take some action that's going to help your family, help yourself, and help others today.
yeah. And the reason why we were doing this is if you need a sounding board, no judgment. We might not have all the answers right away, but if you just want to have a DM chat with us below or on the social medias that we're putting this on, or reach out to us if you want us to give you a quick call. And yeah, Steve and I, because we have, that's why we're doing this. It's a ministry. We might help you take that one little baby step that gets you in the right direction. We're not promising all answers, but we're just looking forward to maybe helping you take that one little baby step in the right direction. All right, everybody. This has been a great episode. Thanks, Steve, for sharing a little bit more of who you are. And a little bit of teaser. It's confirmed. We've got somebody coming on next that has connections to the Raptors, and he's going to be an amazing guest on our next podcast. So that's the tease. You got to make sure you subscribe, follow us, and you're going to get a great podcast, not just listening to me and Steve next time. So it's going to be amazing. Have a great one, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Take care.
All right.
Take action.
Take action.